Fellas,
Hey,
HBCU
What's
in the
happening?
building.
What's happening?
Man, all right. So I want to start by saying, first of all, this is by no means to do or to not to do conversation we about to have. We start not talking about the vaccine, but we're gonna do it anyway. Cause hey, that's what people do. We talk about stuff. We don't want to keep it in the dark. So like I said, this isn't about whether we're gonna take it or not gonna take it. Hey, if somebody want to say whether they're gonna take it or not gonna take it, that's up to them. But I want to start off, man, simply by asking the question, what do y'all think about how it's being represented in the news? That's whether it's, represented by Black people, how they pushing to take it, their methods of pushing you to take it. How do y'all feel about it? Whoever want to start.
go ahead, Price.
Well, I would just say for me, you know, uh, uh, being that I've had COVID, it has a different.
It
I
hit
have a
different.
different approach to it, or a different hit on it. So, I really want the vaccine to work. To be something that is effective, that actually works, which I'm sure everybody does. But as far as you know, my thoughts on the media portraying it. I don't know. I got a little bit of positive with that and a little bit of negative. I feel like, they are doing a good job of trying to convince people to get out and take it. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to go away unless people, unless the vaccine works or it just runs its course and it completely just goes away on its own.
They gave you that alternative. Like you gotta think about it. Either you take it or you get COVID. What do you want? I was like, dang.
Right. That's not I don't know if that's a choice that anybody really want to make, you don't want either one of them. But as far as like the negative side, I guess for me is more of this we've never had anything this fast. There's never been a vaccine that's been produced this fast. And to be honest, the one thing that they kind of cut out along the way in order to allow it to go this fast was those animal trials. The animal trials were kind of pushed through basically. So it's basically we are the test.
Animals,
we the animals, like they using us as the test.
I ain't like them doing them animals like that anyway, man.
Right. So
I always do them animals like that.
That's scary though. It's scary that because a lot of times with these trials and stuff, it's like they know what the effects of it is short term, but they don't know what the effects of it are long term. Mm-hmm. And we joke about the whole Will Smith. What was the name of that movie?
I Am Legend.
Yeah, I Am Legend. We joke about it, but I mean, we literally don't know. Like we know it ain't zombies, but we don't know what this will do 2 to 3 years from now, which is the scary part. And I think the news could do a better job of relaying, hey, we understand, the fear that people have in actually taking this, that there could be some long-term side effects to it as well, and there really ain't no way they can give an answer on what that's gonna be like. So,
but see, that's my thing, bro. Like everything, like I understand, bro. You want to push people to take it. You want to push people to feel comfortable about it. But at the same time, fam, you can't be just like, oh man, it's like shooting roses in your arm. You're gonna feel great. It's no problem. Like, bro, I watched a couple live, people getting it done, a Black lady and another doctor. And they were just, oh, you're finished? Oh my God. That was so easy. That was it's like you talking to babies, like people like, oh my God, I really don't want to take a shot. But then you watching like, oh, it's that easy? I want one. Come on, fam.
This one dude, the doctor, I'm pretty sure you talking about him. He was like, they prefaced it with, this guy, he's very scared of needles and he just doesn't like them. And then they show him, oh, you're done?
Man. Yeah, bro. Like people really scared of the shot. They ain't scared of the needle, fam. That's what they worried about. Did I say you don't want that? You don't fool them needles, bro.
For me, man, it's pretty funny because I think that they're pushing it so we can get back to some sense of normalcy. It's almost like, and I hate to use seatbelt, but sometimes seatbelts can not be too good for you. But anyway, it's giving people that warm fuzzy, or that hey, this is gonna help you. Everybody feels protected. Now we can get back to normal, and you're pushing it out, even though that may not be 100% the case. So if you just you're telling people, hey, go out there and take it, everything will be fine tomorrow. Stocks are going up, and it's just getting people back to some sense of normalcy. And if they feel like they've taken the vaccine, they'll feel like empowered, like, okay, now I can really go out and travel and do things that I want to do, and just can't go to the UK because they supposedly got a new strain.
Bro, I'm gonna give my little 2 cents, bro. Oh my goodness.
So you waiting for let Lisa get in there first, man?
Yeah, bro, go ahead, man. Somebody else go, bro. That just trips me out, man.
I mean, I guess for me, I'm somewhere along the lines like what Price is saying. I'm pretty much for vaccines for the most part, but I mean, you got one that within a year you've had all this happen, and then they come out with a vaccine in like 3 months. That makes me nervous, man. I'm like, that's scary for me. The media, man, well, we know what they do, so I don't even know if I should comment on what they doing. That's all child's play. Because I saw that same thing with that doctor, and I was feeling like what you were saying, be like, bro, ain't nobody scared on the needle.
That's
I'm not worried about that damn needle. I'm worried about that. I'm worried about what's inside the syringe.
Man, right. Oh man, that was easy. Okay.
You can shoot. You can put anything in a needle and shoot in somebody's arm. This is what happens once it's in there.
Straight up, bro.
But yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just a little worried about how fast it happened. When I didn't feel like the trials were as adequate as they normally are with things, and so that's what's scary for me.
All right, Gerald, what you smelling, brother? Boy, like he on that Forex over there.
Nah, I'm chilling. I was writing down something. Man, I'm just not a vaccine. I've had one well, outside of just ones when we were kids, but I've had one vaccination, I guess, and that was for the flu, and that was the one time I caught it. So I was like, forget vaccines. But I mean, I get it, I understand it. The media is gonna push it because, like J-Star said, they're trying to push safety, they're trying to push some normalcy. But I mean, at the end of the day, that just go back to personal choice for me. I had COVID, thank the Lord it wasn't too crazy. And I just said, hey, I'm gonna just stay forward. I'm gonna try to just stay healthy, eat right, take my vitamins and all that stuff, and go from there. Now, I mean, I understand the other angle, because if I was caring for an elderly parent, then I probably would have a different idea as far as doing it, man. But I mean, I talked to one of my y'all remember Drew, Andrew? Mm-hmm. I talked to him and he took it, and I mean, he's a doctor. And he's kind of telling me. I mean, I get it from the medical standpoint, not so much as maybe how fast they got it, because I don't really know how deep that goes. But I mean, hell, the way I look at it, you look at the back of their Tylenol bottle and all these other medications. I mean, I don't really know what's all in there and what it might do. You know what I'm saying? You got some people take the flu shot and they be straight. Some people be sick for 2 weeks after the flu shot. So I mean, I don't think you never know what's gonna happen to your body until it get in it. So like I said, to me, it just goes to their personal decision. Like me, I'm straight. But I mean, if I was on my dying bed and they say, hey, this might reverse it, I might change my mind and go and get the shot. So, but for me, I'm straight for now.
What's that? I'm straight.
and one thing, J-Rock, you made me think about, man, is like people in healthcare. Right. Like Randy's brother
first wave
is a nurse, so they actually required them to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about people and that wave, like how do they feel about it?
I'm sure a lot of them are mixed as well.
People required but I mean, they're caretakers, so and it's
Yeah.
no different than you being a caretaker of your mom or dad who may be elderly. So it's a tough decision, man. And Price mentioned this, last week when we were just kind of chatting about it. The we know what the other side is, and that's potentially death.
Yeah.
If you don't, but it doesn't mean death, but it just
It's that fear of the unknown for sure.
Right. So
let me say this real quick. So one of the reasons, in my opinion, kind of swayed a little bit from last week. I was a little bit more stronger last week on vaccine. But I kind of delved in it a little bit more, and I started hearing that there was some legislation that came out about the liability.
Oh yeah.
You can't sue
relinquish
Pfizer or Moderna.
I mean, liability.
4 years, they're not liable.
Yeah.
To be sued for any severe effects.
Side effects.
Yeah.
That's because they don't know.
Right, but to me, that's like that ain't even American. Like there ain't nothing that you can't sue for. Like,
right. But you're gonna take this off the table, though.
Right, you're gonna take this off the table. And that, to me, that's like, man, I don't know.
So in reading that, and I know we're getting off topic here for a second, but in reading that and knowing that the reason for that is because it was sort of like a state of emergency. It in some ways it kind of goes away to warm fuzzy because it's like, well, it feels rushed because it was an emergency, kind of like what Diesel was saying, 3 months. So that's I understand that's why they're doing it, because it's considered a state of emergency. But
like Price said, bro, that's un-American, dog.
That's un-American.
that just don't even sound right. You just gonna take that completely off the table. And I mean, it's different when you saying, just on that for a second, it's different when you saying, okay, you cannot sue someone for an exorbitant amount, but they telling you can't even sue to get yourself taken care of.
Exactly.
Like, what if I just end up pissing all over the place because I don't, my bladder messed up now? I can't even get a colostomy bag, bro.
That folks said just like that car off that janky lot. Buy at your own risk.
See, exactly.
I guess playing devil's advocate, like for you to, and I'm just asking for you to be able to sue me, like I would not have to make a claim that this is pretty much going to work, or not. You're not going to have this effect for you to be able to then turn around and sue me. I wonder, are they taking the stand of, we thinking this will work, we think this, but we can't guarantee it, so that's why.
So Pfizer and Moderna were essentially telling the government, the U.S. government, that if they were to make these vaccines in a timely fashion, that the only way they would do so is if they were not to be held liable, which is why that legislation came out.
So they're basically it sounds like government's kind of putting the heat on them, forcing them to pump it out faster than they're comfortable doing. Oh hell, I don't blame them. You can sue me either.
But I mean, that's everybody exempt though, not even just them. Like everybody.
Think about it though, Vito. A lot of those companies, they have longer to say, okay, after 5 years, this person didn't experience any, symptoms and all that stuff, and then they
of course.
Longer.
You're talking about trials, I understand that. But my thing is,
I can understand it. They're the Pfizers and Modernas, but
but you also can't. And another piece of that, you also cannot. Your companies cannot be held liable, or your companies have the ability to mandate you getting the vaccine. So
but then turn around and tell
even
you,
for employment. So companies have the ability to mandate vaccine for your employment, but then go around and tell you can't sue anybody once you have severe adverse reaction. It's terrible.
That's what I'm saying. I can't even go on the other side of the spectrum and say I understand why they would put that in place when they remove so many liberties from us as people. Like, I can't do anything about it. If I take an L, I just take an L, bro. But Walmart don't even do you like that, fam. I can go get an air fryer and clean that junk out and take it back. Bro, come on, man. But then you gonna tell me play with my life.
You know, one thing you are required by whatever state you in to take certain vaccines in order to start school.
Yeah, I know.
Elementary.
I know.
So
these joints been
let you go to private school
for years though. These
Well, see,
joints been for years.
I agree. But
then you would also have the choice for homeschooling.
Yeah.
You know, so you still have options.
There's options.
well, you do have an option. You don't have to work that no more.
Yeah, that is one way to look at it. But man, I want James on the road. James on the road, but I do want to bring this little caveat in it. Then nobody really just mention it, but the first person to get vaccinated was a black lady, and it has been highly publicized, televised. She's been talking, she's been, doing all this stuff, and it kind of lends to the whole thing we was talking about as far as them acting like it's so easy and just trying to push it as if children are watching TV to want to do it. And this is their way. And it has been multiple people to try to push black people to take it due to the things that happened in the past. I don't know if y'all heard about I heard the Surgeon General, the brother, say about the Tuskegee experiments. He was like, man, people get that junk all wrong. They didn't give them syphilis. They found men that had syphilis already. They had to cure it, but didn't cure them.
Right.
So he went through all that, and he was just trying to clear up and sure up a bunch of the I guess inequalities when it comes to medicine. He did acknowledge that was wrong. He by no stretch say, hey, it ain't as bad as people say, but he was just trying to sure up some of that stuff. But how do we feel about that, bro? I don't know if it's just being overdone. But to me, it feels kind of overdue. If this is in fact not something that black people should worry about, we shouldn't wait until we feel like experiments again and then try to push us to take it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if y'all really want us to be comfortable with medical, show us why we should be comfortable, not when you feel like it's an experiment all over again. But that's just me, bro. I feel like it's being overdone a little bit, but I don't know if James can hear it, but I want him to kick in a little bit on it.
Yeah, nah. So, I mean, on my little piece, just to go back to the first topic, I mean, all y'all points are valid, as far as I want
I don't know, my boy gonna make it. My boy.
I mean, well, I'm saying, like,
Hey, James.
My boy in bad signal. He in bad signal.
This has been done.
Yeah, my boy in a bad signal.
Against the backdrop of okay, can y'all hear me? I'm bad or good? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear y'all fine, but I guess I'm coming in bad.
Well, as soon as you stopped doing your explanation, you was chilling. Boy said, I feel like and my boy like, hey, can y'all hear me? My boy came in clearly at the end, man. Oh snap, man. We gotta wait till my boy get maximum bars or something, man.
Yeah, how I'm doing now? I'm still choppy.
Nah, you sound good right now, bro.
Or by that pyramid, man.
All right, we gonna rock with it for a second. Just let me know. But no, I was just saying though, like I said, I agree with everybody in the sense that, I want a vaccine to work. I want to get back to normal. Well, actually, I'm gonna say this. Actually, I kind of don't, because I like this work from home job.
On everything.
Some of the things that have happened, like everything don't necessarily have to go back to normal. Things can change.
Right.
But no, so yeah, but I'm saying like a semblance of normalcy where, NBA games and NFL games can be frequent, and you can go to the bar and all that kind of stuff. So everybody wants to go.
I feel that though. He did bring up a point.
Nah, yeah.
Like I said,
yeah. So let me move him down, man. But yeah, I mean, he did bring up a good point though, man. I mean, he really did. Like, not everything should go back to normal.
I don't think a lot of it will. I think you have a lot of. You think a lot of these companies, man, these folks saving stupid money, bro, with these people working from home. Like I'm in banking, bro. I don't think there's no chance you're not gonna walk in banks and seeing 5, 6 tellers standing at a teller window with 4, 5 bankers, bro. Everybody in these banks have to be cross-trained. You can go in banks and see 3, maybe 4 people. That's it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it was going that way anyway. I think COVID just expedited stuff like 3 or 4 years, bro. Like, you think about a call center. Why I got this warehouse, I got 100 people in there paying them salaries. We paying these bills for this building. When I can get them a little whatever connection device next in their living room and make them same calls. Like, why would I?
Yeah. Man, it's gonna be
in the production.
Right. Because they happy at home.
They gonna have to break that giant though, man. Like, because a lot of these managers, and they like to see people in chairs. A lot of people don't like to go home. You know, I've heard people say this before. People I've worked with like being at work. And these managers, you know what I'm saying? These slave owners, man, they really want to see people in the seats and all that type of stuff. So it's really anything that's money driven, we already know is gonna make that. I mean, the vaccine money driven. That's why all of a sudden they can cure this gen and trying to figure that gen out, because money is really getting tight, which brings us to the point of this $900 billion relief package where people getting $600. Man, bro, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Canada got like 2 stacks for like 3 months straight or something like that.
Longer than that,
even more. Say what? Oh,
I think it was longer than that.
Yeah, maybe even more. But like 600. I ain't tripping.
2 stacks, but it was for the whole COVID.
Yeah. They had a lot. They got a lot of cheese, bro. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but I had to ask some Canadian peoples. But bro, 600. A lot of people like, bruh, what I'm gonna do with that giant? Like, for real, like, for us, we all blessed. Ain't none of my boys ain't went on no hardships. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna be pissed about it. But just imagine, man, you've been in the food main line, you know what I'm saying, waiting, and that giant wrapped around the interstate. And then they try to hand you 600, and then they got all this other stuff in there. I ain't even gonna go through the whole outline, but I read a pretty good bit of it. But man, I don't know.
So I've heard somewhere today that Trump was like, that's not enough. He wants to throw the COVID relief bill away and start all over, because I think he won something like 2,000 per.
Yeah, he was trying to get 2,000, 4,000.
You know why that is? Because fam trying to call martial law to redo the election. Right. He want everybody on his side. He really, that dude really think that everybody gonna be able to vote again. He gonna have a chance. That's the only reason that dude's saying that.
Right. Pentagon folks, so that man get on out there with that crap, man.
Bro, we talked about this the last time, but the last one was what, 1.2 trillion?
Yeah,
with a T. Crazy. And then this one, what, 900 billion?
Yeah, right at another trillion.
So the actual payments to people to do those $1,200 check was, I think it was like $300 billion.
I think it was
to send out those checks to people. We talking about 1.2 trillion. And another 900 billion.
Another 900 billion. Where that money at?
$600? Where that money going?
Where that money going, dog? Where that money going? Because
you know where it's going.
Sound like somebody should be straight. They are still struggling.
The people who straight were straight before it though.
Right.
So
I mean,
and
you
I
would think,
understand they talk about businesses and giving it to
Yeah.
businesses and stuff like that, but like,
but
bro, like, what is
But
we
bro,
talking about, man?
even those joints, them PPP joints, that first roll around, bro,
Right.
that's a loan, bro. So
Right.
it's like it's like I'm gonna give you. We got a relief package, but I still want you to relieve me after the relief package. Come on, man.
yeah, I mean,
So that
like,
money's still there.
right, dealing with that, like it was structured like a loan. Now they did have like a loan forgiveness part of it. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, they like I think I probably said before, but whatever. Banks, they're giving, I don't know the figure, but they might say, well, we're gonna give 500 billion to banks to lend out to small businesses and whatever. Like we in consumers. Well, hell, that's still only helping a certain demographic and a certain class of people because if you like how you got a COVID relief loan. So J-Star lost his job, and we got special loans for a COVID relief loan, and the minimum credit score is a 720.
Right. And shiznick the hood to do with that, bro.
Who do you know struggling got a 720 credit?
Nobody.
Right.
So like I say, it's all. I mean, folks clown Cube, man, but like I said, I think Cube just didn't have the push behind it. But like, I feel him like put stuff directly in people's hands, bro. Like, y'all, they mass these bills. We gave $10 trillion to small businesses. Well, hell, they had to have a 720 credit score, and most small businesses, you got to have a business for 2 years for tax return. Man, you ain't got that.
Right.
So you got Trump and his son, they getting money, and all these other corporations getting money. They didn't need that money, man. So while on paper it looks like you help people, you help somebody, but it's the same people like O just said. They didn't need no help. They were straight.
Exactly.
They can go 2-3 months without getting some bread.
Exactly. The omission process is not good, bro.
Those people that got some money and got some help, they didn't need it.
Right.
and they didn't do it, I would say, the right way.
Bro, you gotta think about what they told us. Like, they told us that, like, the first time around, a lot of businesses didn't even get an opportunity to get it. So just like Price said earlier, 1.2 trillion. If you're saying a lot of people didn't even get a chance to get it, where the money at? I'm still confused.
Right. So basically, there was like, I know with my there were three waves. You had one wave that shut down or whatever. So there's basically 3 waves, and then they had, I think it was the EIDL, which it's so many folks gonna get locked up for that. That's a whole nother conversation. Like, it's folks about to do years for that $2,000-$3,000 that they got, but that's a whole nother thing. You can't. But man, like I said, man, at the end of the day, bro, all these relief packages, in my opinion, they're relief, but they're not relief for everybody, and they're not for the people that.
And also, there's some people who are going to end up having to pay it back because
right. Well, I'm gonna tell you, there was a 6-month grace. I'm sorry, I mean cut you off, but there was like a 6-month grace period. So at the end of the 6 months, they're gonna basically audit your stuff, and then if they find $1 that you didn't put towards payroll or rent or mortgage, guess what? We need that money back. So that's why I said you got a whole bunch of people finna be further in debt and or jail.
and I'm actually talking about the stimulus package that they sent to like residents, not the PPE loan, because because it was based on 2019 taxable income, but when 2020 taxable income come out, some of the people ain't gonna make it. They're gonna have to get that money back.
Let me get that back.
Right. If you hadn't filed yet, and you based it off of the 2019 tax return, but then in 2020 you actually made more or something like that. If you made more than what the actual thing was,
let me get that back, bro.
Yeah, I need that
back. 1.2 trillion, 900 billion.
Right.
Oh man, that's a mess, bro. I mean, it really is.
So how I'm coming through right now? Good?
Right.
All right. So I want to backdoor what y'all talking about with the stimulus. Because we talked about a little bit about it earlier this year about even the Trump tax cut. And pretty much all this is a redistribution of the wealth. Because what they set the precedent up with the tax cut is that, yeah, we got that little money, in our check to make us feel good. But the way everything is structured is that corporate tax is not going to have to pay corporate taxes.
Right.
We're going to be paying taxes. But guess where this money is coming from? It's coming from a treasury that we as people are going to pay back because they've gutted the corporate tax structure. So to refill the bank, nobody's going to be paying it except the so-called middle class, because nobody, above $1 million pays taxes now, in a sense. So I wanted to put that out there while I still had a little service.
James, do you think they're going to raise taxes for people to pay that back, or reallocate like where your taxes are
We'll
going?
have to raise
Well, I
taxes.
mean, it would. So you had to raise taxes all aboard. But here's the thing, though, and it's been what we've been talking about this whole time, is that it's not that they really don't even need to raise the taxes on the middle class, kind of like what Biden keeps on talking about. They need to bring back corporate taxes. Anytime you got Amazon and you got the richest man in the world who didn't pay taxes for the last 2-3 years, like zero taxes. Like I'm on the road right now. I don't know how many Amazon trucks I done passed today.
Plenty, bro.
And this man making money. He done made more money than Elon Musk had before the pandemic. He made in the pandemic. And this man has not paid a tax, a cent. So that's where it's also all this talk about we need to raise taxes and you mad because your taxes go up a couple $100, or you think it's good because your taxes went down a couple $100. No, it's really just pulling the wool over your eyes, because really what they need to be doing is, it's a way bigger picture, and the corporate tax is where it's at.
So
I can't
it's
see
crazy because the Trump had those corporate taxes scheduled to end 2024 when he's out of office. He thought he was going to win a second term, and then those corporate taxes would end in 2024 when he was leaving.
And guess who taxes started going up in 2021? The regular people, personal tax.
Repeat that, bro.
So 2021, anybody who makes $50,000 or less in 2021 is going to pay more tax than they paid in the last 2 years. And it's actually going to be everybody's not going to be paying more, but people under 50,000 have it worse.
Right.
Think about that, bro. I make $42,000 a year, and I pay more taxes than somebody that paid $4 billion.
42,000 and
this is America.
1 second.
This is America.
One thing about it, J-Rock, is ways around it, and they know.
Yeah. And like I said, that's the education piece. Like I said, at the end of the day, man, and I think this kind of I don't want to get too off tangent, but I just think this is where you gotta say yourself, man. You're gonna have to read. You're gonna have to get a piece of paper. You're gonna have to read or take it to somebody that can read it. And you're gonna have to get stuff out of Jesse Jackson and put it in Jesse Jackson LLC and Jesse Jackson Corporation. Because I mean, you can sit back, we can cry, we can fuss. That John is not changing. That John didn't just get like that. So you just gotta learn the game, man, or else you're gonna always be.
Definitely gotta learn the game, and it starts with opening that business line.
I'm telling you, bro.
I'm telling you.
Look, I'm gonna tell you one of the things that was in the tax cut.
$200-300 for that corp. Your finances immediately flip over, bro.
And
now
bro,
you're making 50 grand, paying taxes on 8.
I know people who make 20,000 who probably living better than I can, so they know the loopholes too.
Bro, I know folks making. I'm a banker, bro.
I'll give you one of the loopholes. I'll give you one of the loopholes that they had in the tax cut. That it ends this year. One of the loopholes was if you buy a private jet, you can write off the whole purchase.
Wow.
I mean, you can just go Google, like just get on your phone and Google tax breaks for home-based business and look at that, John.
Oh yeah.
You'll be surprised. I think it was like 40, mid 40, almost 50, just straight up having a home-based business off top. Man, I know folks making $250,000, $300,000 a year and breaking even on their taxes. Oh man, what your, oh yeah, Jesse, your taxes gonna be high, man. You need to spend about 70,000. Let me go look at this Bentley. I was looking at
Right.
sign it up, buy it, sign it over to my court, and now I'm riding with a Bentley, and the government paying me to ride that junk. Man, you better learn the game.
That's pretty much what they were saying with the jet purchase.
Yeah.
You could buy, you pretty much write the jet off, and then what they were doing was they were taking the jet and having it where like a brokerage service would fly it. So kind of like Airbnb for your plane. So somebody would just rent the plane. You're making money off of something that you got the tax write-off completely, 100%. It was only from 2017 to 2020 was the program that they had. It was when Trump signed the tax cut. And I was watching a guy on YouTube, and that's what he was doing. He bought a G-Wagon, and because it weighs over so many thousands of pounds, it's considered like a work truck. You can have it. So, and because he had a construction company, he had a G-Wagon. That's the construction vehicle, 100% wrote off.
I'd have put one brick in the back of that junk, man, riding around.
And that's all he does. He goes to Home Depot and picks up the mulch.
We just got, hey bro, we just got to get on the other side.
That's it. See, we putting y'all on game right now, but this ain't free, man.
Yeah,
y'all got page. Y'all got page. We see you for all this.
Hey, you get on the other side, you're gonna be like Martin. Start from scratch.
Man, we gonna sign out, man. We appreciate y'all, man. HBCU, we out of here.
Hey.